For someone who is looking for scholarship, how do you think they should place themselves? Would you advise get some experience, get some work experience, have an idea of what goes on in the real world? And it's kind of relative.
Yeah, you've taken the words out of my mouth. I always say there's no single formula to how you approach a life. Everyone has their own path. Where we come from, opportunities are limited. Yeah, you cannot say you have to go straight to masters, or you cannot say you have to go straight to work. But what I would say is there may not be jobs available immediately. But what one can try is to do internships or placements. So by doing an internship, you get to understand what is available within the area that you're studying, where you can be useful or where your skills are more suited for. You will even decide to do a master's in a certain area because you've seen the market is going in a certain direction. Yeah, I remember my dad wanted me to be a teacher, but specifically I'll point to a flood that occurred in Kenya. And when that flood occurred, the Ministry of Agriculture requested to know if we can assess the damage that has been done. I couldn't get any clear image that did not have any clouds. What I did is that I went online and checked how to analyze flood images and assess the damage using this particular type of data. And that's where my journey started on how to use that type of data. And what followed is that I decided to learn more about this type of data set and how we can analyze this, interpret it. I did a short course online. So 1 year later, I had the intention of wanting to know more about this. So I decided to go and check any PhDs that are related to floods.
You did your BSc in Kenya, did your MSc in Nigeria. Your decision for a PhD, sad to say, came from a place of natural disaster.
Yeah.
A flood occurred. During the course of your application, things like mentioning natural disaster, your work experience, do you think that gives like an edge?
Exactly. I think that is what gave me extra points, if I would put it that way, in the application process or even the interview, because some of the key things that they were looking for is your experience in using that type of data set that I mentioned earlier, but also in general flood. Have you done anything related to floods?
In this candid conversation with Felix Kasiti, a Kenyan scholar whose drive to pursue a PhD in flood and water policy was sparked when a devastating natural disaster struck a town back home. He reflects on how that moment shaped his research journey, and he shares thoughtful advice on whether aspiring scholars should dive straight into postgraduate studies or first build real-world experience to ground their academic pursuits. This is the story of Felix on how I got here.